Welcome back to another edition of Weekly Sports Talk with your hosts Kalehl Brown, Bennett Ford, and Jared Hilton. The NCAA tournament's in full swing now. Second round games been played. We're now on to teams moving on to the Elite Eight. Syracuse being one of those teams, missing their best player though. What are their expectations? Obviously, the number one seed. They want to get that win, but they're down Mello. What are they going to try and do there, and how are they going to make up for his missing presence?
Yeah, they played really well, actually, I thought, last night versus Wisconsin. They actually struggled a little bit in their first game. Almost lost that first round, the 16 seed, but they're starting to get adjusted playing without him. You know, he's a big post presence down there on the offensive, and really, he's a really good defensive player as well. It's helping them in their 2-3 zone, but I think what they're going to have to do is learn how to play without him, and just they're going to have to, guards really have to step up their game and penetrate a lot better. Their 2-3 is going to have to get going and get their hands up and moving if they want to be able to make it to the Final Four and have a chance at a championship run.
Honestly, I didn't have Syracuse getting past the second round to the Sweet 16. I had them losing to Kansas State, who they actually played. But they've proved against Kansas State, they just proved that they can shoot the ball well, and even without Fab Melo, who's been their best player this season, and has a huge post presence. But they've proven that they can make shots when they need to. And
Number 7 seed Florida Gators were in action last night too, playing Marquette, who's the number 3 seed. Florida pulled out the upset 68-58. They're getting deeper now into the bracket, farther than a lot of people thought that they probably would. Billy Donovan, the coach for the Gators, has been here before. He's won national championships, and so he really knows how to win those big games, but they just don't have some of the talent that other teams can bring to the court. How are they going to make up for that?
yeah, I didn't expect Florida or Marquette to get this far. I mean, Marquette's a 3 seed, but I don't think they're a strong 3 seed. I even think if they made it to the Final Four, they wouldn't hold up as well as some of the other teams. Florida, I've watched them play a couple times on Saturdays. Wasn't real that impressed with what I saw when I saw them play, but they've improved a little bit over the season. They're a little inconsistent with shooting. They rely on the 3-ball a lot, but the last couple of games I've watched, especially in the tournament, they haven't been hitting their threes, and that's kind of been why they've been struggling in their games. All they need to do is just make shots. I mean, that's the story for basketball. You just need to make shots. You need to play defense. They have the capability and the talent to go on to the Elite Eight and hopefully the Final Four, but we'll see what happens.
Tonight, we're looking forward to North Carolina will be playing. They're the number 1 seed as well, and they're part of the bracket, playing the number 13 seed, Ohio. Ohio's definitely one of those teams that you're surprised to see this far, and just trying to match up with some of the talent that North Carolina has. I mean, guys like Harrison Barnes. Obviously, Ohio's going to have a tough time matching up with that. How are they going to make up for their lack of speed and athletic ability, and hopefully try and beat Roy Williams and his Tar Heels?
Yeah, Ohio's been playing very, very good basketball as of lately, upsetting Michigan and then getting past the second round and now into the Sweet 16 versus North Carolina. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to defend very well, obviously, helping out one another. I mean, North Carolina has very many scorers, and Kendall Marshall, if he's able to play with his wrist, if he goes, it's going to be very hectic for them. But, they just have to get out. They have to make a lot of threes. In transition, they have to get out and rebound. A smaller team as well in Ohio. They just have to get out, rebound the ball well as well. And just, be able to just play. Go out there and play, have fun, let loose. And just, hopefully if they're doing the right things, the right fundamentals, they don't have to have the best players. They just have to work harder and want it more. They've proven that so far, and it's going to be tougher for the North Carolina team. But hopefully they can do so.
The game I'm really looking forward to is going to be tomorrow on Saturday. Number 1, Syracuse. Number 2, Ohio State. Obviously, Ohio State has Jared Sullinger down low, who's one of the best players in the nation. He really knows how to take over a game down low, make his post presence there. And without Melo in the paint to guard him, and on the other side to wreak havoc in the paint, get some boards, they're going to have a real tough time trying to shut him down, and trying to get him into foul trouble might be a little tough too. How are they going to make up for that and try and beat Jared Sullinger and the Buckeyes?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Syracuse to handle a post presence like Jared Sullinger down low. You know, he's a really good player. Obviously, I'm probably gonna go on to get drafted in the first round. You know, not just him though. They have other guys, and Thomas and William Buford, Aaron Kraft, a really good defender in the country. They're just a very good team overall. And Syracuse without Fab Melo, they're a good team. Obviously, they have a lot of talent around them, but they're gonna have to learn how to step up and help one another, have backside help, maybe try to front them with backside help, and just try to do other things and mix up the defenses for other looks.
Yeah, the thing that really impressed me with Ohio State last night, one of the players was Aaron Kraft, a real good defender. Went out for some loose balls and got some good passes and good transition offense. I think if I had to choose, I'd choose Ohio State. They have two really good big men that can make up, and they had some really good rebounds against Cincinnati last night and some second chance points that Cincinnati couldn't just come back for. So I'd have to choose Ohio State over Syracuse to get to the Final Four.
For another edition of Weekly Sports Talk alongside Kalehl Brown and our special guest Bennett Ford, I'm Jared Hilton.